Hey, friends, don't take yourself too seriously, right? Sometimes well meaning followers of Jesus, if you're like me, you've got a bad habit of that. Right? That's going to be our devotional encouragement for the day. We're going to read verses 27 to 30. You should read the whole section. It's really good. But here, let's dig into this. To this, John replied, "A person can only receive what is given them from heaven. You yourselves can testify that I said, I'm not the Messiah, but am sent ahead of him. The bride belongs to the bridegroom. The friend who attends the bridegroom waits and listens for him and is full of joy when he hears the bridegroom's voice. That joy is mine. And now it's complete. He must become greater, and I must become less." And this is in reference to what we saw in the last video or two videos ago when some of John's followers were getting upset with Jesus because some of John's followers were stopping following John and began to follow Jesus. And all of a sudden, some of John's followers were going, "We're not as big a deal as we used to be." And John's going, "This is what was supposed to happen. You remember that I said it. This is just the way that it's going to be. He's got to become greater, and I've got to become less." And that's the way that we need to serve our communities. It's not about us. We're trying to lift up the name of Jesus. And every time we make it about us, we've really got to check ourselves. See, a while ago, I saw a meme that said something to the effect of, it doesn't matter how essential to your job. When you leave it, they're going to replace you the next day. And that's kind of how we have to view ourselves. It's not that we're not important. It's just that God can raise somebody else up. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do the good that we see in front of us. We absolutely should. Somebody's got to do it. But God can find somebody if we don't. And I think intuitive, we know that because all the time we walk past good that we ought to do, don't do it, and then maybe get a little regretful that we found out somebody else did it. See, John understood this. He knew he was just supposed to pave the way for Jesus. And he was fine playing that small role. And again, what we do matters. It makes a big deal. And if we don't, God's going to find somebody else. So we've got to learn to not take ourselves so seriously. We're not that big of a deal. We've got to learn to trust God to do the right thing. We've got to play our part when it's what's right in front of us. But then when he wants to move us someplace else, that's okay too. We're a small part of his work to restore what he started in the garden. Be content with your role. Don't take yourself too seriously. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.